Well, it has certainly been a pretty wild last day or two for Guardian Druids. Are we good now? Let's look at that. I believe it was yesterday we actually got these hotfixes in. Dream of Cenarius, which was the bottom left side that lets you get those free regrowths that are castable in bear form, got a 200% boost to the healing it does. Actually, these regrowths hit pretty hard. This is pretty substantial healing. So it's actually a pretty nice buff. Rage of the Sleeper also got a massive buff as well. So it now also increases your damage by 15%. It grants 25% leech, and the cooldown is now 1 minute instead of that minute 30 seconds. On top of this, Tooth and Claw now also makes your mauls cost no rage. So between all this, these were some pretty nice buffs. I was like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. These were honestly, I was happy with this, and maybe we need some numbers tuning and maybe some pathing changes, stuff like that, but we're looking great. Then just minutes ago, Guardian Druid got a 50% aura modifier to their bear abilities. Yeah, 50%. And again, that's bear abilities, so it doesn't include Moonfire, so it's like everything but Moonfire pretty much, but wow. That is a big number. Based on like current early numbers, this puts Guardian Druid as just barely ahead of the recently buffed Blood DK in single target. AoE, they're probably looking solid as well, but wow, that is a big number. They also had a pretty big number too after the wildfire's healing. They quadrupled it and increased the range by 50%. This is also going to be a nice utility button now, or talent now rather, that you can pick up relatively easy in a raid build, for example. So that's an interesting option. Pulverize got a pretty substantial damage boost as well. Reinforced Fur, still a bad talent. This doesn't really help it. And then Scintillating Moonfire also got a significant buff. So it went up from a 4% basically passive DR to a 10% passive DR. So let's talk about how this actually changes the spec and how the spec plays. First off, if you were not a fan of Maul before, you better like Maul now, because holy Maul trucks. With the 100% rage reduction on Maul from Tooth and Claw as well, you're going to be mauling a lot. And again, the early numbers were that you would maul even if you had 6 targets to hit. You would still maul. You would still opt to maul over like swiping or something like that. So Maul stonks very high. Maul is going to be a massive portion of your damage, and with Tooth and Claw, Maul feels great to press. You can still Maul and Iron Fur. You have pretty substantial uptime on this Tooth and Claw DR in single target. It gives you nice priority damage even in AoE, right? You're going to be thrashing, and then you'll be able to Maul in less than 6 targets is a damage increase, and even at higher than 6 targets, it's going to be a pretty substantial primary target damage if you have like a mob that is higher HP that you want to focus down, or that is tank bustering you or whatever. You can apply that DR to that individual mob to have that benefit as well. So this is going to be something you pick up no matter what, Mythic Plus and raids. I was pretty sure you would be taking this in Mythic Plus before this change, and now it's pretty much set in stone that you are going to be running these Maul talents in every form of content for sure. It's just Maul is going to be so strong after this change. It's going to be a massive priority. You're going to be mauling a lot. You're going to be Iron Furring a lot alongside Maul. You're going to be swimming in rage, because this gives you a ton of rage, like excess rage, because you're now just not spending as much. So you're going to be able to do so much with your rage. I'm recording this video and I'm going to jump on. I'm going to play some Mythic Plus on the bear and see how it feels. But let's kind of look at the talent tree, because like I said, you're still kind of forced into that same like individual right side build. You don't really have too many options, and this doesn't change that. Because if you look, a lot of the big talents that got substantial buffs are kind of on the right side. So let's go down. Let's assume we're in a raid build, for example. And so we're going down the tree here. Grabbing your Maul stuff. This is a raid build, so you're going Vicious Cycle. You'll likely go here for the Maul rage cost reduction as well. Fury of Nature, Gory Fur to open up Survival of the Fittest. You still have 2 points you can spend. And this is where you have the option now after the Wildfire. Very strong now. But you can always also just go Soul of the Forest, let's say. Going down the right side here, this is now 10% DR. And then you can grab Galactic Guardian and Rage of the Sleeper. You can grab Balloon's Favored, Circle of Life and Death. You can grab your Incarn. You can grab your Incarn CDR. You still have 2 points here. So you can even do something like 10% Moonfire damage and grab after the Wildfire as an example. You can also drop a couple points and go down here and get Earth Warden if it is a fight where you want Earth Warden. If you're looking at Mythic Plus, you're likely going to kind of back up a little bit here. As you take that point up over here, you definitely want to get Earth Warden and Mythic Plus, probably dropping Vicious Cycles. You want to go across via Layered Main here just to conserve points. Go down towards your Berserk upgrade, grab this stuff here. Of course, the same Incarn CDR, Scintillating Moonlight, extra Rage Gen and AoE, all this kind of stuff. So again, you are really locked into this right side build still. The left side is just not as valuable as the Moonfire talents, I think. Even this 50% buff like does kind of amp with Ursoc's Fury as well. And of course, Druid Cenarius got a pretty substantial healing buff as well. So that can actually be very, very good in terms of support healing. But I think with the massive maul buffs here, as well as all your rage gen being locked in this right area between Galactic Guardian and Blood Frenzy, and the buffs to Rage of the Sleeper, you are still just kind of going to this right side of the tree. It is what it is. So it doesn't solve that problem, but it does make Guardian Druid a hell of a lot stronger. So there is that silver lining, at least. Still some fundamental problems with this talent tree, honestly, but it is a very, very positive change for Guardian Druids, and, you know, I'm sure Guardian Druids very, very happy with this big number boost. Who can be upset by big number boost? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see this peeled back a little bit and have some of this reverted, but at the same time, this does make Guardian Druid like the best tank damage-wise, but I don't think it's by a significant margin. It's odd to me because 50% seems just like a massive number. But hey, I mean, I guess we'll take it. I'm still hoping for some talent adjustments on this left side to maybe make it more appealing, but we'll have to wait and see. And I guess I can't complain too much after the attention Guardian's been getting over the last couple days with these talent buffs and changes here. So there we have it. Guardian Druid saved. Maybe. Hopium for Dragonflight. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Come check me out on Twitch, streaming beta keys all weekend. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.